What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking my honest thoughts about WWE 2K19 after I was able to play the game ahead of release for approximately 4 to 5 hours. Do keep in mind that I'm gonna be discussing some of the features that you guys probably already heard about, but I will also give you my thoughts with it, talking whether it is a good thing, a bad thing, or what type of improvements it needs. So I will certainly be giving my feedback with it, so enjoy the big head mode action in the background while I ramble on and tell you my thoughts of what I was able to mess around with in WWE 2K19. So right off the bat, it was about 2 weeks ago that I was invited to play the game, recorded for you guys to show you some early footage. Did just that, and now I'm back home, and this is about 2 weeks after I recorded all that footage. So I was able to upload a bunch of videos, hear you guys' thoughts about it, and I think most importantly, I was able to digest everything that I was able to record. So this is not me recording my honest thoughts just a day removed after I played the game. Instead, this is me, calm and collected, 2 weeks after I recorded the game, letting you guys know my real thoughts on it. So the first thing you guys probably wants to know is, should you buy this game? And obviously, I honestly cannot tell you this until I do my proper review, but going based on what we've seen, obviously you can see how much of an improvement this is from 2K15, 2K16, 2K17, and 2K18. This game feels like they took WWE 2K18 and added everything that it needed to be added to it in order to make that game last longer. And that is what I'm all about. I'm all about the game having a long cycle, because let's be real, for the first 2 weeks, if you're a wrestling fan, any type of wrestling fan, you're gonna like the game for the first couple of days that it comes out. The big question is, what's gonna happen after that? But for 2K19, it feels like it has a lot of potential to actually have a longer cycle than any of the previous games. And this potential comes from a lot of the new additions that they added, whether it was small or big. This year, WWE games ended up adding the small things that we have been asking for ages to many of the modes. So to start off, in regards to the modes, we got My Career, who obviously I'm sure you guys already seen people talk about it. It's pretty much hyped up right now because it is completely different than what we've seen. It is a complete revamped My Career. Think of it as a Road to WrestleMania type storyline. Everything is voiced over with some crazy storyline happening there, which is a huge plus. Instead of everything feeling like it's WWE television scripted, we're actually going to be getting some pretty crazy stuff that is video game related. We're going to be getting some zombie Triple H, for example, Wyatt Compound, storyline with Broken Matt Hardy, and so on. That's going to make it feel like it's an actual video game and we're not limited to what we're seeing on television. And most importantly, it doesn't feel like a simulation, at least when it comes to the storyline of My Career. So if you're someone who honestly buys the video game just for the storyline, then 2K19 is gonna be your best bet compared to the previous year's game. You also get that new experience in the 2K Showcase mode, so that's definitely a thumbs up. If you're a fan of creation, they also went hard with that, with custom side plates and most importantly custom money in the bank, which you have a lot of options in to mess around with. Even in exhibition, being able to control when you cash in, teasing it, and so on is a big plus that's gonna make this game last longer. This year, a big part of the presentation was a big focus on the fun, so obviously we get a good or goofy creations in there, such as block body. Also, you got big head mode, randomizing creations, and so on. All of this add to the gaming experience of, again, what a game should be, fun. So if you want to change it up and mess around with any of these, you're welcome to do it because the option is there. Moving into universe mode, like I said, money in the bank is a big feature this year, and I pretty much have full breakdown on any of these features that I'm mentioning, so if you guys need more information, make sure to check it out. Nonetheless, universe mode this year, in my opinion, it has potential of actually being pretty good because of all of the little features that they ended up adding, such as choosing a winner if you want to simulate a match, adding more titles to a show, being able to put your money in the bank on the line on one-on-one matches, and so on, choosing match types in certain rivalries, and pretty much just setting up a whole pay-per-view however it is that you want, as we got a new section in which we're able to make and set up our pay-per-view just how we want it. So if you want every single match to be in a Hell in a Cell, Extreme Rules, or whatever, we're able to do it by simply going to this menu and setting it up. So that is a lot of positives in regards to the new features that we got in this year's game, and changes to universe mode in my career, but there's also some questionable decision, and a lot of those come from the new match types that we got in WWE 2K19 and the updates that we got to certain matches. So a couple of concerns that I have is in regards to like the Hell in a Cell match and also the Wyatt Compound match, in which I already made videos on the fact that you can't really do much once you're inside those matches. So when you're in the Wyatt Compound, you're just in the Wyatt Compound. Like, it is just that environment right there. You literally can't do much with it because there's no weapons around. You can't go ahead and interact with certain things that are on it. You can't really do most of the OMG moment, especially if you're required to get into a high ground and so on. So that match in itself needs to be updated quickly, or otherwise it's just gonna be something that we're never gonna be playing on. As I mentioned before, you're better off just playing on the backstage area, because at least there you're able to interact with a bunch of things that you can have some fun with. As for Hell in a Cell, it's questionable why there's not a weapon wheel in it, but at the same time they also added a bunch of features to it, being able to fight all over the arena in it, being able to fight while you're climbing it from anywhere that you want, and a couple of new OMG moments and animations that you're gonna be able to see right away that are pretty cool. So there's some plus, but there's also some negatives, you know, like they added new stuff, but then they also end up taking out a couple of things that really doesn't make sense. In my opinion though, one of the matches that they got right was the steel cage match, which feels completely new, as they add a new mini game from when you're trying to get out from the door, and you have much more mobility on top of the cell while climbing it and so on. Also new OMG moment in which you're able to break it. So there's a couple of new additions there. They also ended up adding a bunch of matches, especially multi-men tag team matches, including within the new category of the 5-men/woman matches. So again, that is a huge plus, but I'm still questioning why we haven't gotten those classic match types such as Inferno match, special referee matches, which technically is already on showcase mode, but it's not on exhibition, and so on. It is something that I'm still scratching my head on, because I feel like it's already something that we should be getting. Hell, this year, we even saw a casket match with the Undertaker, which we haven't seen in years. So technically, if we're talking about matches that we've seen on television recently, then technically that's one of the matches that should be in the game already. We also seen ambulance matches between Braun Strowman and also Roman Reigns. So again, we should be seeing that in the game. So that is my thoughts in regards to the match types. Pretty good additions this year's game, but also questionable omissions. And again, my biggest takeaway in regards to the matches though is the fact that the Wyatt Compound needs a big update. Maybe throw a bunch of weapons in there like I suggested before, and who knows, maybe by the time that the game is already out, since I'm recording this before that, maybe by that time it's already updated. I can only hope so. Other small additions in regards to being in a match that I'm excited for is being able to switch controller mid-match, again being able to cash in mid-match as well, and being able to use the highlight reel right from the pause menu, which this year you can also hide the panels. In regards to gameplay, the first thing that they ended up telling us again is that they wanted to focus on the gameplay being fun, and also they wanted to make it a little bit faster, which they ended up doing. So when I was playing the game, I did notice that it is faster, and when they meant to say faster, they mean in the sense like now you're more freely to walk around and just maneuver your superstar a little bit faster than previous years. A big difference, for example, is when you're in my career, you can notice it right away. You guys know how when in my career, when you start off, you're very sluggish, you're very slow, your recovery is just absolutely insanely annoying. Well, this year feels more faster in your recovery, in the animations that you get to do, in your movement stamina and so on. So that in itself makes the gameplay quicker, and you also got the new addition of the payback system, which are there to help you gain the momentum once again if you're getting absolutely demolished. Some of these paybacks are like automatic reversal, using poison mist to a superstar face, and so on, to get you to that position where now you're in the offense instead of getting destroyed. So that is a pretty good addition, but how is it gonna work online? That's a huge question right now, because none of us were able to play any other online feature, which is obviously a huge concern. We don't know if the matchmaking is better and how cheesy it's going to get, because that's also gonna be a big impact in Road to Glory this year. And with that being said, I want to transition over with the online aspect of the thing, mostly 2K Towers and my tower plus Road to Glory, because in my opinion opinion, that is the thing that is gonna continue to make us come back to the game, no matter what. So right off the bat, 2K Towers, yes, it's a good game mode, but I'm honestly disappointed at the fact that it doesn't really feel like an actual gauntlet match. Yes, you have to play it like it's one, but for some reason, they didn't make it like Defend the Streak. When you go into a tower, obviously you have different difficulties and so on, which is awesome. Then you pick your first opponent, you fight your first opponent, you defeat your first opponent, you go back to the 2K Towers menu, and then you select the second superstars. It makes no sense to me. Why do you have to do this? Why can't they just find a way to make it like in 2K14 gauntlet matches, in which you defeat your first opponent, bring out the next one right away, instead of backing me out and making me pick the second superstar, which we already know we have to face anyways. Now, I know that they want to show us the score of what we got in that particular match, so they gotta back us out, show us the score, and then we pick the next match, but they could have easily just left us in the ring, pause it, show us the score, give us the option to go next match, and continue where we at. I feel like that would have created better gameplay, but that is just my feedback in regards to that. But overall, I'm excited for this game mode because of the rewards that we're gonna be able to get. For example, beating the $1 Million Challenge will give you a golden AJ Styles, which, I mean, it's kind of silly, but at the same time, it's pretty cool that we get a reward like that. It makes us grind it out so that we could get a specific reward, and in my opinion, that's what makes this game last longer. And switching it over to my player, where we got Road to Glory and also Tower specifically for my player, it's a pretty good addition that they added daily, weekly, and also monthly towers, in which we're able to get rewards such as Road to Glory, which worked the same way as last year. So again, daily, weekly, and monthly towers is an amazing feature for them to add. I'm literally going to be coming back to the game every single day so I can complete that daily tower and so on. Now the question is, what rewards are we going to be getting in these? They need to be very good. If they make it like last year Road to Glory, in which we only got mask after mask every single month for every single pay-per-view, we're gonna get tired of it and we're not gonna play it after the third month. And while I was at the event, I managed to have a good talk of the developer of Road to Glory. He himself ended up admitting to me the fact that last year was kind of like a start for them and they didn't know where to take it, but this year they managed to include different rewards that is gonna continue to make us come back to the game, because they realize that the online feature coming from Road to Glory and also My Player Tower is gonna be the thing that's gonna keep the game going. So I can't say that it's gonna be good this year, because again, I don't know the rewards for it. They didn't want to spoil it for us, but they did indicate that they realized their mistake and that they're going at it this year with much more full force, including the fact that we're gonna be able to collect certain pieces of attire from My Player Tower to Road to Glory and combine them to ultimately have a full attire. So that I'm hoping that it delivers, because if I see another mask, pretty much like you guys, I'm gonna flip. So that is pretty much my early thoughts in regards to WWE 2K19, because again, I was only able to play it for 4 hours. So just to summarize, yes, the gameplay is much more smoother this year, just like it is kind of like every single year, but at the same time it feels like it's faster because of the reversals animation, the way that you're able to gain more momentum, the new payback system, and so on. There's also a bunch of new arenas and areas that are a good addition, but certain match types such as the Wyatt Compound match needs to be slightly updated and have more content in it if we're gonna be able to play an exhibition. There are also brand new additions to the Hell in a Cell and Steel Cage matches that are welcome addition and that make us more freely to play the game and to play that match how we want. In regards to new match types in general, there's a bunch of new additions, but at the same time, there's some that are questionable up to why they're not there just yet, such as the Casket Match, the special guest referee matches, and so on. And I hate to say this, but hopefully we get it next year, you know? Hopefully they're listening, because we are getting much more new ones. My career is obviously a thumbs up and it is completely revamped, which is a good thing. Universe mode got some slight updates that is making me want to play the game mode and have a full-blown universe mode on my Twitch channel, so that's coming. But unfortunately, we don't know all the glitches just yet. And last but not least, 2K Towers and also My Player online aspect of it has a lot of potential because of a lot of of the rewards that we're gonna be getting, but at the end of the day, because the game is not out just yet, we don't necessarily know if those rewards are gonna keep us coming back to the game. They have to be very good if they really want us to stick around. And last thing I want to say, should you buy this game? And I feel like there's a simple answer to that. If you've been playing since 2K15, then you're gonna notice that this is a big improvement right away, so you might as well buy the game. Just like every single year, do keep in mind that there's going to be glitches in it, and as I mentioned, there's a couple of things that are missing that should be in the game already, but they're not, so hopefully that's something that they work on. The second option is wait for a couple of us to post our honest review after we play the game for about 1 to 2 weeks, because as of right now, again, I'm just going off the 4 hours that I got to play. So I hope that this video helped you make that decision in some shape or form. Nonetheless, guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications for much more WWE 2K19, and make sure to follow the Twitch channel for other live streams. We will be doing everything over there: universe mode, showcase mode, my career, and so on, so you don't want to miss it. We in the road to 100,000 subscribers. Macho T, dig it.